Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Live from Redhook here at the Function House. I'm Mike Gentile, along here with Anthony Vitale. And tonight, we have a very special guest DJ, Tommy Myst, Monaco.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Welcome to the Function House, buddy.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
So how's it going, man?
Great. Happy to be here. I watch the show every week. I love it. Appreciate you guys letting me on.
That's great, man.
Thank you.
So who was your favorite show so far?
So far, I mean, a couple weeks ago, Brutal Bill, loved it. Awesome. Encore was great.
Yep.
What he did with the words, mixing with the words together was pretty wild. Probably the first one that I saw, a couple before that, but when I saw, was it Tommy Bones? Yeah, he killed it.
Yeah,
when he got in the front and started when he started dancing, I was like, well,
he's got great energy.
He was fun.
He's got great energy. He's a great DJ. He plays very good music, and he actually does a weekly live stream. Yeah. Right. I think on Tuesdays too. Okay. He does like every week, every Tuesday. He does a house music set.
Yeah, I think Anthony Acid was the first one that I saw. He's a friend of mine, and he was great, playing old school stuff. You know what I mean? His genre track, which he probably doesn't even like, but he played it anyway. You know, he's a funny guy.
Enough about these other guys.
Right?
Let's talk about you, man.
Let's talk about you, man. You've been in the game for a while.
Yeah, a long time. I mean, I'm going to show my age, but I probably started late '80s. Mobiles, you know, it's kind of where a lot of us start is from there. But
wow, late '80s, so we got a veteran here.
Yeah, I mean, it was late '80s, man. So I was a kid though. I mean, I was maybe 16, and my dad does video for a living back then. So he was videotape weddings when the cameras were like as big as speakers. You know what I mean? They were huge.
Yeah.
I was his assistant, and then I saw these DJs. They were called Star DJs back then in the 80s. They were like the biggest company in Jersey then.
Okay.
These guys had like the mullets then, you know what I mean? Sequin jackets. And I knew at that point, watching them perform and playing the music, I knew that's what I wanted to do. And then from there...
So wait, how old were you at this time?
16.
Wow.
And so I kept doing that, hanging out with those guys. Did some assisting with them, and then a guy named Mike Walter, he left there and started his own company, Elite Entertainment.
Okay.
And been with them now for 22 years.
Wow.
I think, yeah, long time. So I've been doing this, mostly weddings. I do like 70, 80 a year for the past 22 years.
Where do you put all your money, man?
Yeah, right. Nah, yeah, I have no idea. Mike, back into my equipment, probably.
So you started out in the mobile world, and then you gravitated and you worked in the New Jersey club scene, which, back in the late 80s, 90s, 2000s, there still is a big Jersey club circuit, but there was a very, I guess, cultish type of club scene out in New Jersey with some of these clubs. So why don't you talk to us about that?
Yeah, I mean, I started with the club scene back when it was Birch Hill and Stingrays. I don't know if you heard of those clubs.
Yeah, I heard of Stingrays, yeah.
Old Bridge.
Yep.
We're just promoting. I always carry my stuff with me, my records, my headphones, just in case the DJ didn't show up. And that's pretty much what happened. DJ was either late or didn't show up. They put me on. They loved what I did. And I got hooked up with these promoters, Bon Solid, Joey and F. I don't know if you remember those guys a long time ago. So I was with them at Stingrays. We actually did raves. I don't know if they call them raves back then. I don't even know what. But there at Stingrays, it was a pretty big spot, outside, inside. So we actually did some raves, but they were legal raves, playing with like Bad Boy Bill, Frankie Bones, those guys. And so we played events with them.
So this is around what time?
This was... could have been like 96.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
Yep.
So they left that club, Joey. So it was like Solid Enough back then. That was the name of their club.
Yeah, I remember that.
So they went from there. They went to Hookah Bunka.
Okay.
And from there is when I met all these Staten Island guys, Richie Santana, Anthony Acid. Richie had his own night Fridays there. They put me on to open with him on Friday nights at Hookah Bunka for a pretty, I guess maybe about a year. And then from there, they gave me my own night Wednesday. It was actually called Function Wednesdays. And probably for about 5 years, I played there.
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
So
it was
you did
insane.
Hookah Bunka. You did the Wednesday night at Hookah
Wednesday,
Bunka.
yeah, Function Wednesday.
That was like the best night.
It was insane. Yeah.
I remember my older cousins used to go to that night.
Yep. And it was funny because we had that there, and then Abyss had Manny the Greek on Wednesdays at Abyss. Both nights were packed. Doesn't matter. And the clubs were only 10 minutes from each other.
And this was every Wednesday, winter and summer?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And Fridays, what happened with Fridays, they would stop doing Fridays there in the winter, in summer, and did DJs in Belmar.
Who owned Hookah Bunka? It wasn't
Kip.
Costa?
No, it was Kip and Frank, these two guys. No, Costa, they owned their Abyss.
Yeah, and Deco.
And Deco,
Yeah.
yep. And they own Park East and all those places now.
They own everything.
All those, yeah. These guys who own Hookah Bunka also own DJs. And they're still, with DJs now.
Now, I remember, Hookah Bunka was around, and then it was closed for a while, and then I guess I remember, when they were, reopening it, and I remember, when Charlie Cavallo was curating, the Friday night or whatever. Yeah. I guess, was that when they were taking it over? Is that when the Wednesday night came about?
Yeah. Charlie Cavallo was, the MC there. Ringo was... they did Silver Ball Saturdays.
Yep.
Was there.
Yep.
That was Kirk Lopez. Played that, I think, every Saturday. And they had some big artists come in, like Raina and Veronica and all those artists, too.
And it was a really nice club. I mean, it was
sound system was banging.
Yeah, they had a very good sound system.
Yeah, it was a great... That time, I think, was just awesome. That music, you've heard the last few weeks, the last month was dedicated to the Staten Island guys.
Yeah, yep.
That music was just different back then. A lot of vocals, you know what I mean? And it was just, and what's cool about when I played there is that guys like Anthony and Richie, the guys that are in the producers back then that were big, they used to come in and just give me their, they want to test their song out on the system. And what's cool is they used to give me these songs before I had them before anybody else did. I said, listen, I'll play it, but I'm keeping it. So I don't give it to anybody, I'm keeping it. So it was cool. I had a lot of these songs before anybody else did.
And Wednesdays were just ram-packed?
Packed, man. It was insane.
Wednesdays was the hottest night in Hookah Bunka.
Yeah, it was nuts. Yep.
So when did production come into play?
Production's always been, it's been for a while. I did a lot of production more for myself, like making my own mixes, my own edits, giving them to my friends. I did production probably, about 10 years ago. Me and my brother made this track called Control Your Body. It was a remix for somebody. And Tenaglia got a hold of it. So we're huge fans of Danny Tenaglia. We used to go the tunnel every Saturday. We were there.
Yep.
And it was one of our dreams, listen, if only Danny could play one of our songs. He got a hold of the song, and he played it, often in his set, which is great. He played, on New Year's Eve at one point. And then from there, I was like, man, we could definitely do this. So we took a break for a little while. We're still learning production.
So hold on a second. How did you get the record to Danny?
Well, it was on Beatport.
Okay.
Yeah. So somehow, it wasn't on a chart or anything. He must have just came across it.
Yep.
And we heard it. I don't know, just somewhere on YouTube. Somebody had their phone. I'm like, man, that's our track.
How psyched were you?
It was crazy. Yeah, it was pretty wild. Yep.
Yeah.
And it was on New Year's Eve, and I heard it another time somewhere else that he played it.
For a guy like that, for a guy like Danny Tenaglia to play a track, he's the DJ's DJ. And everybody as a DJ, most DJs look up to that guy.
Yeah.
So that's got to feel good to know that somebody like that was repping your track on the dance floor,
Yeah, it blew our head up. We were like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're just,
Probably in the studio for the next fucking 5 weeks.
And we couldn't get it right. No matter what we did, we couldn't get that sound.
Danny,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Playing our track. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was great. Yep. But we still produced, you know what I mean? But here and there. But it was more when I got hooked up with Brutal Bill recently on Sector.
Okay.
Because he's got a great label, great producers on his label.
Yep.
He was here a couple weeks ago, and I just happened to play a record that I was working on. I played it, just streamed it, and then he heard it, and he was like, man, I want this for the label. I was like, great, so I had to finish it. You know what I mean? It wasn't even done yet.
Yeah.
I finished it, mixed it, mastered it, gave it to him, and it made the charts. It was great. So it was a very tribal tech house track, and it was a top 10 on Beatport, tech house track.
Wow.
Chart, which is great. Yeah.
So are you reaping any benefits from having your music up in the top 10 on Beatport?
Yeah, getting emails, you know what I mean, from other labels, which is great. People are noticing my name. So now I did other tracks with Sector that people are just now probably just typing in Tommy Myst, which is great.
Yeah.
And finding, and other tracks made it for the top 100, you know, so I think that's helping.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, well, I think that, you know, a lot of DJs will gravitate towards producers, especially if producers are on a good run making tracks, right? And then that's what sort of gets your name out there. So if you're, you know, if you're stockpiling tracks and then you're just flushing them out, you know, to the sources, that's definitely going to blow you up.
Yeah,
Know?
definitely. Yep.
It takes like that one hit, and then they go back and listen to all your old stuff.
Yeah. Backlog, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So how often are you producing? How often are you making tracks? I mean, are you stockpiling tracks, or are you just sort of picking and choosing the things?
No,
that you're
definitely.
doing?
You know, it's like as of right now, I have like 10 tracks I'm working on at one time. You know what I mean? Like you get some ideas, you got to take a break from it, go back to it. You might want to go. You might go back to it and say, "Man, what was I thinking? This is horrible."
Yeah.
Then you come back to it again a month later and go, "Wait a minute, I could probably do something with this." You know, so I probably have right now probably 10 that I'm working on. Billy right now from Sector, he has 3 of them. So now it's just a matter of waiting to his release when they come out.
Yep.
In the studio 3-4 times a week right now. I'm really into it now because now I got the bug. You know, now I got a name going. People are buying my songs. So now I'm really getting into it.
So how does that work for you? Like, so obviously, you know, you're putting the track out on Sector. They're taking care of the distribution. Mm-hmm. It's being placed out on Beatport. Does it get placed out on, say, like a TrackSource or like an iTunes or anything like that? Or right now?
I think he does. As far as I know, it's on iTunes. It's on like Amazon Music. I think it's on it's streaming on what's that big streaming? Spotify. It's on there too. Yep.
So what do you think about like the way music is going in terms of the streaming? Do you think that, you know, over the next say 3 to 5 years, DJs will be streaming their music when they're playing at gigs? Or
I don't know. I mean,
what do you think about that?
Wi-Fi is in the club. I mean, you know what I mean. I don't know how that works. I don't know what the sound quality is. You know, when you're downloading MP3s and WAV files, they're a little clear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Streaming, I don't know how clear it is.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, what I read recently is Beatport. They might start streaming soon, I think, as far as I know.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, there's talks about that.
Yeah, I heard about that too. So we'll see what happens. I mean,
It's
technology, man. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's interesting in the sense that, you know, everybody's going to be able to have everything.
Look, I have too much music as it is.
Yeah.
I can't imagine having
right.
that much music.
Like imagine having like whatever Beatport has in their you have access to all of it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't really do. I mean, it gives you still need to know your music and know what you're going to play. And I guess if you're a guy that can play off the top of his head and knows tracks off the top of your head, it's a good avenue to have in terms of being able to pull anything you want. But, you know, I think it's, you know, I don't know what the percentages are, but most people have their stuff sort of segregated into folders or crates or whatever, or what have you. Yeah.
Yep. You have to just know your sound. You know what I mean? Like, I know open format guys, they have to be all over the place. You know, I'm a tech house guy, tribal, techno. You know, I know my style of music, so I know what I'm looking for when I'm on Beatport or anywhere else. You know, so.
So you have any new tracks coming out? What's coming out?
Yeah, there's right now I had this song called Vacuum on Sector, which is available now for pre-order. Comes out Thursday. So I have that. Like I said, you know, Billy's got a couple more, a couple remixes that I'm doing.
Are you only working with Sector right now, or are you?
Yeah, right now I am. I may have a
around?
couple other songs out right now. These guys, ever hear the Scene Kings? Like
Yes.
John Greenfield and those guys?
Yeah.
They just started their label. They're friends of mine. Hooked them up with a couple tracks. I think they're coming out, I think in end of July, I think. Yeah.
As far as like any nightclub gigs, you got anything coming up?
No, not too much. I mean, I'm so busy with the mobiles.
Yep.
That's like constant for me. So it's hard for me to even get into any kind of club scene right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Guest spots maybe, you know, if the offers are around, but when it comes to, well, there's no more residencies, you know what I mean? It's not like you have like a certain club those are done. And I miss those times, you know, but.
Now, are you aspiring though to maybe see if you can get gigs based off of your production work? I mean, is that sort
maybe
of
some
like
guest spots, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. I'm not big into doing festivals or like with these big, you know what I mean? I'm more of a old school. I want to DJ in a basement, you know what I mean, with like low ceilings.
We
Maybe
all do.
300 people, you know what I mean? Strobe lights only. You know, like it used to be like a long time ago where you don't even see the DJ. Like the DJ's the weird dude in the corner.
Yeah.
You know, like it used to be.
Those places exist in Brooklyn. There are a lot of them.
And they're amazing.
I gotta find them.
And they're you know, I stumbled into a place actually in the Lower East Side maybe about 6 months ago, and it was the basement of some like random place.
It's great.
And they had one fucking strobe light, and DJ was in the corner, but you saw him, and just people were just dancing.
Yeah, that's. I don't want people.
You know,
that's how it is now, man. It's like, I guess that's where the money is. I mean, these DJs with the, if I see another DJ doing a hearts thing with his hands, I'm gonna lose my mind.
You don't like the hearts?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna lose it.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But I mean, look, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't sort of fight it. You just have to, adapt to the times,
right,
and take it for what it's worth, and just, have a good time with what you're doing.
Just make good music, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing. That's my
so
plan.
you got a set planned for us?
Yeah. Yep.
You're gonna play some originals?
Yeah, I've got a couple originals I'm gonna play. Do some techno, some tech house, and probably play some older stuff that what I like, what got me into doing this.
Awesome.
All right, well,
So.
we're glad you're here, man.
All right, cool. Thank you. Thanks for
We'll
having
take a
me.
2-minute break. We'll get Tommy Myst up on the deck.
Thanks,
Cool,
Tom.
man. Thanks.
Peace.
Peace.